Hello and thanks for joining me today. I love to meet you here and do some yoga together in this virtual world for now. And today we are going to go through our main energy centers, the seventh chakra system that we have that runs within and outside our body that helps connect us to ourselves and helps connect everything inside of us to the layers of the outside, how we feel around, how we feel connecting with other people, and everything really else. And I think it's a really nice time to always incorporate that into our practice, whether it is with intention or if it's simply just going through our poses, it will still reach our chakras. Today we will do it with a little bit more intention that I've done in the previous classes so far here. There is one video where we chant the sounds of the chakras. It goes well with this practice, and we'll bring that in a little bit towards the end. For now, we're gonna take a seat and sit cross-legged onto our yoga mat. Maybe you are sitting on a blanket or a block or anything that you're comfortable with. I do my best to have these classes with no props so that we can all do yoga together without having to go and buy any props because we might not have them at home. And at this time and moment, we just want to gather and share our energies and sync up with each other and have a good time. So we'll start down at the root chakra, the very base of the seat, and it runs down the legs. It's called a root chakra, and the Sanskrit name is Muladhara. And we'll sit with that for a moment. It represents our ways of grounding, of ways of fitting into our community, our place in our community, family, material things, and it represents the color bright, deep red. It also represents our way of grounding, of feeling steady in being ourselves, ourselves with ourselves and ourselves amongst others as well. So we'll sit with that for a moment and just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And with intention, breathing in towards the very base of the body. It represents our bones as well. So we can breathe into all the layers of the bones. We'll take 3 nice deep breaths, just sitting nice and tall on the sit bones. And gently open your eyes and sweep the arms up and over the head and root down with the seat and interlace your hands and turn your palms up towards the sky. Just kind of clean and clear the layers all the way in towards all bones, in towards the center. And the intention with this practice to go through the chakras will be to maybe just unleash some energies that are stuck in the chakras. Maybe we feel dense here and there. Maybe we need more information that is available for us, maybe from the outer layers. Maybe it's from the inner layers. So any of the yoga poses that we do today, they will just help us to blast energies from the outer layers around us to the bones and back out again. And maybe it will release some valued information for us, what we need to do or eat or be or say, or how we need to just kind of present ourselves. Let's release the hands all the way down. Nice. From here, take your right arm up and over. Sink your sit bones down and stretch in towards the side of the body. Rooting down and slowly coming up and over to the second side. And gently bringing it all the way back up And support yourself with your hands as you take your legs wide into Vissuda Konasana. And just sitting nice and even on the sit bones, and just kind of allowing the energies to descend down and helping us to ground. Take your left hand outside your left leg, sweep the right arm up to the sky. Hook your heels down and your toes up, and bring your arm all the way up, maybe over, maybe taking the gaze up underneath the upper arm as you are descending down into your seat at the same time. And slowly bringing it all the way up and over. Take your left arm up towards the sky, maybe bringing it over if you feel nice and even out on your seat. Just kind of unleashing energies from the seat, out the legs, out the feet for more availability to ground. Slowly bringing it all the way back up, and we'll take it over one more time, sweeping it up and over, and gently take it up and over to the second side. And bring it all the way back to the center. Hands underneath the knees and bring your legs together. We're going to come over onto our left side, please. We're going to lay down on the side, onto the left side. Come onto your forearm and onto the side of the waist to start right here. Nice. And we can stay right here onto the forearm and take our right peace fingers around the right big toe, and take your knee in towards your shoulder and extend from the root of the big toe all the way from the seat, out the bones, out the inner edges, out the grounding cords, and stretch your leg up towards the sky for like a laying down trikonasana variation. Taking your leg all the way up, clearing and cleaning the layers of the adductors, hamstrings, and through the hips. You could from here come down onto the whole left side and stretch your left arm out and come down onto the side with your side of the head and your ear on the arm. Spread your toes, all 10 toes. With intention, take some nice deep breaths in towards the base of your body. One more breath, and then exhale. Release your leg down to the side, or you can just simply flip yourself on your belly over to the second side, or wherever you have your space today. Take your right forearm to the floor, and we're just going to lay sideways on our mat onto the right side. Take your left peace fingers onto your left big toe, and bring your knee in towards your shoulder and ground your right femur, and extend your left leg up towards the sky. Spreading your toes nice and wide. Just nice and grounding, wide open angles. Steadiness. Steady and grounded in towards the legs, in towards the seat. All the way down the layers of the legs towards all the four corners of the feet, and really into all the 7,000 nerve endings in each foot by just spreading the toes and activating the feet. Take your right arm down to the floor and spread your fingers, come down onto the side of the head for a full laying down trikonasana version. We'll give ourselves another breath right here, and then exhale, release the leg down and make your way onto your belly and come up onto all fours, please. Tuck your toes under and come into a really nice and wide downward facing dog, and stretching into the heels from the layers of the deeper layers all the way out in towards the feet, from the seat out the legs in towards the feet. Spread your toes, spread your fingers, and just kind of encourage the pulsation in towards the deeper layers, the whole layers of the bones, and breathing into that. That's a kind of a very deep connection. We're going to widen the feet for a nice, steady, wide, downward facing dog. Give ourselves a few breaths right here. Steadiness, connection, feeling grounded right here and right now. A few more breaths right here.
anchoring into the legs, anchoring into the feet. Open up the pathways. And then from here, come into your normal downward facing dog, if there ever is such a thing as a normal, but just a little bit closer with the feet together. And we're going to move up the pathway up towards our sacral chakra and our more flowy part that represents the water, the flow, the liquid in the body, the reproductive organs, the connection, the sentient feelings that we have with and for others sometimes. The sacral chakra that lays from the belly button and down towards the seat. And then we'll take it back up again. We'll roll one more time, rolling from your down dog, each and every vertebrae, and especially in towards the second chakra, right from the belly button down towards the seat, called Svadhisthana. It has the color of orange. You might have that color flushing in front of you. Take the feet all the way together. Take your right leg up towards the horizon, and then we're going to open the right hip and release some energy in towards the sacral region by bending the right knee and coming into a one-legged dog. Step your right foot between your hands, and then we're going to turn the toes over to the right side, all of the 10 toes to the right side. Turn your left palm out to the side, right arm up to the sky, and coming up into a kind of a bridge, sideways supported plank to get into the outer layers of the hip, and releasing any stagnant energy in the second chakra by just kind of moving like a nice big flowy rainbow up and down, and using the deep muscles in towards the whole center. And again, taking it all the way up. Nice. And taking your hand to the floor, step it back to your downward facing dog. Bring your feet back together and ground from your second chakra, the sacral region, down to the seat, all the way down the legs into the feet. And from there, extend your left leg up towards the horizon. Open your left hip, bend your knee, and take your heel towards your buttocks behind you and open up in towards the front of the sacral region, and unleashing any flow that might be there, just kind of waiting for us to kind of being transported through the layers of the chakras. And we want to make sure that it reaches our mind, what ideas it has for us. Step your left foot between the hands and turn your right hand slightly out, and then we'll turn to the second side. So all the 10 toes over to the left side. Sweep your left arm up towards the sky and lift your hips up to the sky like a nice arch, and then sink your hips almost to the floor on your right side, bringing it all the way up and over, and taking it all the way back down. And one more time, clicking your toes down, your feet down, and coming down with your left hand to the floor. Step it back for downward facing dog. Step your right foot between the hands and move your right foot over to the left side, and coming into pigeon pose onto your right side. You might shimmy your way down and kind of breaking through some layers that might be stuck energetically, or maybe some ligaments or tendon that needed some extra movement before you reach your pigeon pose. Tuck the back toes under and bring your forearms to the floor and come into your seated forward fold pigeon pose, whichever, or a prone pigeon pose. You can have your toes tucked in the back. Hug in from the outer layers of the muscles, and even like beyond that, from the outside of your physical body. Hug everything in that belongs to you, in through the skin, through the muscles, into the bones, and in to that second energy center by the sacral region, and then from there might be some more energy in towards the legs that are able to be unleashed or untied, any knots. One more breath here, and then gently hands to the floor and step it back, downward facing dog. And step your left foot between your hands and move your left foot over towards the right hand. And from here, karate chop your left little toe side and shimmy your way down from that spot right below the belly button. Hold on to that energetically and kind of blast some energy in there as you come down to your pigeon onto your left side. Come to your forearms, use pillows or blocks, whatever you might have to make your seated forward folding pigeon feel the best. Hugging the skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Breathing into the second energy center and extending out through the root chakra, through the legs as well, out through the feet and beyond. And you might feel tingling in the feet already. There might be some energy release and open pathways just by the breath, just by intentionally practicing yoga to open and turn and churn our chakras in the direction that is the most beneficial for us. We'll take one more breath here. And gently take your hands to the floor and step it back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, spreading your fingers, pedaling in towards your heels, and roll from the base chakra, from the root, all the way up through the second and up in towards your power center, the Manipura chakra, the third energy center that governs the power of the will, the digestive system, the organs. We want to feed it just the right food so that the fire that it represents is burning at a nice even pace the whole time, always. And by having that going in a nice steady fire, we have a pretty nice system going if it's working well. That's like a never-ending journey, the digestive system. Spread your fingers, arch your spine up towards the sky. Moving into Manipura, the third energy center that runs from the sternum towards the belly button, towards the deeper layers. We pull the organs in and up. The color that it also is connected to is the color of yellow. We have our power center here, the willpower to pull through with anything. And exhale, release. And again, bring it all the way up. So we use the center of the belly to bring the organs in and up. With intention, give them a nice massage and just even out the flow in the belly. And exhale, release. And again, press the palms, the knees, the toes down, and with the help of the organs, arch the spine up towards the sky. And exhale, release, take it all the way back down. Take your right arm up towards the side of the mat, or like elongate with your yoga mat, and maybe take it all the way up and open up in towards the right side of the belly, in towards the ascending colon, links all the way in towards the belly, in towards the deeper layers of the Manipura chakra. And exhale, take your right arm underneath, come down onto your right shoulder and twist and turn in towards the spine, in towards the whole spine, targeting the twisting and the twisting and neutralizing of the juices in the belly and the organs. Take your left arm up towards the sky. Give yourself a few breaths right here. And exhale, release. Take it back to the center. Come to neutral all fours and take your left arm out to the side. Maybe it works to take it up towards the sky as you arc your spine up, as you suck all the muscles in towards the midline. Take the left arm up towards the sky. Nice. And exhale. Take your left arm underneath you. Come on to your shoulder and to the side of the head. Twist and turn the organs. Give them some nice awareness, some nice ringing out. Take your right arm up to the sky. Take the gaze up towards the thumb. Breathing with intention, pulling energy into the belly so that it can stabilize into the muscles, and twisting becomes easier and it becomes really beneficial for the organs. Exhale, release, hands to the floor, and take yourself into downward facing dog. Spread the fingers, pedal in towards the back of the heels. Take your feet a little closer in so that you have a shorter stance down dog, but feet wider. And we have like an easier way to really ground from the belly down to the sacral region, down towards our seat, and feeling nice and steady in the legs. And it's like a nice open pathways to release any stagnant energy, anything that's holding us back from those 3 lower chakras into our like lower down dog. And we'll twist it up with a right hand outside your left shin ankle. Pull the belly in, bend your elbows, and take your gaze underneath your left upper arm. You can be on your fingertips on your left side. And then slowly taking it back to the second side, taking your left hand outside your right shin ankle, bending your elbows, looking underneath your right upper arm, staying nice and steady and feeling a little clearer in towards the center, from the sternum down all the way towards the seat. And exhale, release. Come to downward facing dog. And then we'll bridge that together by taking 3 rolls in plank over to shoulders and wrists stacked, and then we arch it back up again. And just kind of massage the Muladhara chakra, the Svadistahna chakra, and the Manipura chakra, giving them some nice good awareness and intention. There should be some heat going in the body. Kind of a little nice even fire to burn and purify the layers. From here, we're gonna come down onto the knees and move up to our heart center, located right where we can take our hand to our sternum. And it governs the heart, all the love we feel, all the compassion, and certainly the breath too, and the lungs and the circulatory system. Let's tuck the toes under and dig into it by pressing down the forearms and getting a nice turn onto the shoulders, and open up the pathways out the arms. But first we just want to kind of focus on shoulders and upper back. So we're getting into the space right at the back of the heart, between the shoulder blades. Flush the forearms down, move about in towards the upper back with a breath. And exhale, come down onto the knees and come onto all fours. And step the knees back and come onto the belly. And we get a nice big elongation for the spine by just kind of laying flat for a moment and taking from here the right arm out onto the side. And from here, we're going to stretch into the right shoulder and open up the pathways that runs from the heart and the lungs, out the shoulders, out the arms. Giving ourselves a nice big stretch here. You can take your right head down to the floor, right side of the head. And gently Come back to the center and switch to the second side. Take your left arm out to the side. And with intention, we open a little bit more flow, a little bit more connection to our heart and lungs, and to the circular system, to the connection to others. It also has the color bright green, like a nice summer field of meadows with green, bright grass. Has that lustrous, nice glow into the heart center. And then slowly bring it all the way back. Nice. From here, take your hands behind you, interlace them onto the sacrum, roll the shoulders up and back, click all the 10 toes down and anchor in from the belly center, from your sternum and down. You might even tuck the tailbone slightly to have a nice clear line of energy going down into the legs, into the feet. Levitate, lift your shoulder blades and stretch your arms behind you. Click all of the 10 toes down. Open up the heart center with Shavasana. By clasping our hands, we might move a little bit back and forth, toning into the back of the heart, toning into the front of the heart, toning into the lungs, giving them a nice lift and some great awareness. And exhale, bring it all the way back down. Hands by the shoulders, come up to all fours. I don't know about you, but I always can take some easier breaths after doing poses like that. I hope you can too. And I hope you feel like a nice clear connection all the way down towards your feet, really. Take the toes wide as your mat, grab your yoga mat, come up into a downward facing dog with bent knees so that your torso, your ribs, your torso, your lower belly, middle belly lays onto the quads. Stretch your arms forward and just get a nice, full, vibrant elongation for all sides of the body. And to get more in towards the heart center, into Anahata, take your gaze forward and get in towards that upper back. And gently sink the heels down towards the floor. And come back with your hands onto your mat for down dog. Take the knees to the floor. So the heart center is the gateway for the 3 lower chakras and the gateway for the 3 upper chakras that connects us to the heart of earth and connect us to the heart of source. We want to have a nice clear line of energy going through there so that the breath can help to feed the bottom chakras of stagnation, and then the ground energy can also come up and help to ground us in the, sometimes the top 3 chakras can get a little bit spin out and up. So let's do one more for the heart center. Move in towards the throat by taking Anahata, pose or heart melting pose with your hands forward, and the forearms can come to the floor. You can take your forehead to the floor. You can take your chin to the floor. Some of you will take the heart to the floor, and we're moving in. It's like a bridging from the heart up towards the throat center. One more breath here. And gently coming all the way back up from there. We are going to take downward facing dog, please. Spread your fingers, step your feet back, take a nice wide downward facing dog. Pedal in towards the heels. You can look up towards your belly button, getting a nice stretch into the back of the neck. And from here, step your feet between your hands. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, fold forward. Take your hands to your hips, elbows to sky, and come all the way up. And come to standing with your feet hip widths apart to stay nice and steady and anchored, so we can move up towards the throat chakra, the center for our center for the sound, center for our voice. Take your arms up towards the sky and take your right wrist and turn it over towards the side, and from your right ankle get a nice big elongation all the way up towards the wrist on the right side, and gently switch to the second side. Breathing, softening, and gently bring it all the way back up. Hands to the side, hinge and fold. Uttanasana, like a nice big wave. Come to a forward fold. And from here, take yourself down into a seat, and we are going to stretch the legs all the way forward for seated forward fold, to just kind of also get in towards the whole back layer of the spine. Sweep the arms up and hinge and fold forward. Take some nice, good deep breaths here through the throat layers, through the deeper layers of the neck, of the throat, into the lungs, using our breath, using the pathway to clean and clear the breath through the whole throat chakra, called Vissuda. It has the color of bright blue. You can relax your head, fold forward. One more breath here. And slowly bring it all the way up to a seat, and come with your legs up towards the sky. You might remove ponytails if you have some, or man buns, whatever is out there. We want to make sure that the voice has a clear pathway, that whatever comes to our mind that is appropriate for us to share, that it actually has an ability to come out in a clear way, using our voices, using the sounds of our body. Take the palms flat on the floor, and you might lay here. Maybe this is plenty. Maybe you stay in your seated forward fold. Maybe you take your legs up and over for a preparation for plow pose and a preparation for shoulder stand. Take your hands by your lower back, and we're going to come up into a supported shoulder stand with your hands and your hips stacked, and it's like a little hammock with the hands onto your hips. And we're getting a nice massage and awareness in towards our throat chakra, thyroid gland. Breathing, softening, staying here. And gently release your feet down towards the floor. Hands can come all the way down, and then we're going to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And we're going to take the knees, bend them, and take the feet flat onto the floor. From here, we're going to stay right where you are and extend your legs out. Take your hands underneath your buttocks so that the palms are facing down underneath you, and your arms are kind of tucked underneath you for fish pose, which is another excellent way of neutralizing and cleaning and clearing our throat center. Claw your fingertips underneath you and come forward and raise your chest. Take the top of the head towards the floor. If you're more comfortable having your head floating away from the floor, then take it away from the floor. Feet can stay together. We are fully staying plugged into our center line, where the chakras are turning and rotating and endlessly cleaning and clearing our energies so that we feel at ease. And sometimes if we don't feel at ease, then doing a chakra clearing is excellent. Today we're doing it with yoga poses. And then gently claw your fingertips, tuck your chin in, and come all the way back down. Take your knees in towards your chest. Make circles on the sacrum. And come over to one side and make your way up onto all fours. Arch your spine to the sky. And hollow it all the way back down. And arch your spine to the sky. And hollow it back down. We'll do it one more time, unleashing anything stuck in the spine, anything that holds us back, and anything that stops us from doing things that is meant for us. One more, arching the spine up to the sky, and then coming into a neutral spine, taking downward facing dog, taking the breath all the way through the centers, through the heart center, through the willpower center, the belly, down to the sacral center, down in towards the root chakra, down through the legs to the feet. One more breath here. Coming up onto your toes, bring your knees to the side, come into child's pose. With the big toes together, knees apart, stretch your arms forward, take your third eye to your yoga mat. If that's too far down, then by all means, take a nice little pillow or take your hands and make a pillow for your third eye to reside or rest upon. So we are moved away up to our sixth energy center, the third eye, the Eye Ajna center, where we have our sight, where we have our vision. Also, the hearing is here. So it's a very powerful center. Certainly just like the others, but we can also here tap into our intuition, the infinite knowledge that's around us, the infinite information that is around us. So just by talking about it or thinking about it should bring us a little bit more like centered awareness into our third eye, and more like empowerment in towards our third eye. Trusting it, always trusting it. Knowing that it's always there for us. Always to tap into. One more breath. Stretch your arms forward, come into all fours. Take your downward facing dog. Roll your down dog into plank pose with more awareness than the previous rolls, all the way up from the seat through all layers to the third eye, and then gently taking it all the way back again. And we'll do that 2 more times to tone into the layers. And one more, all the way back. Last roll. Take it all the way forward. Into the sixth energy center, kind of just blasting out. And called the third eye or Ajna center, and also it has the color of a royal deep blue. Come up onto the toes and down to the knees. Tuck the toes under and come into a toe squat, or just like a little seat, like a small squat supported with the knees. Take the hands behind you and interlace. Roll the shoulders all the way up and back, and we're moving up into the last center, the crown chakra,
the center where we have connection to the heart of source, like where we have our direct downloads. So just by saying it and talking about it, it makes it so happy. And it's like there might be infinite knowledge just standing right around you waiting to relay information to you. So by just knowing that it's there and knowing that we can just think about it, breathing into it. Today we're doing it with a yoga pose called the bunny pose. Take the hands behind you, take the top of the head towards the floor and get into that space where you had like a nice soft open spot when you were born. Right, that space up there on the top of the head, the crown chakra, the Sahsrara chakra, and it has the color of purple. It goes from purple all the way to white. Take your arms maybe up towards the sky, and we can stay right here and enjoy and have a nice time. If you have a headstand, then headstand is the next version to go into if you wanted to. Breathing, softening, melting. And exhale, hands down to the sides and hands to the floor. Take a standing forward fold, feet over towards the hands, top of the head towards the floor, and then we're just going to roll all the way out as we descend more energy in towards the legs and the feet, and elongate the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, hinge and fold. Have your feet nice and wide and steady. Exhale, and then inhale, bring it all the way up towards the sky, palms together, and exhale, hinge and fold, forward fold, inhale, bring it all the way up towards the sky, and just kind of flushing through those energy layers. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. And from here, we're going to come and take a seat and close our practice together, our chakra practice together, with the intention of feeling a little bit brighter, a little bit more in tuned. And there might be dreams of chakras after this. So we'll go through from the base. We have Manipura, the root chakra. The color is bright red. It is community, family, food, material things. So maybe we want to check in and see how we're doing on those subjects. Who knows? And then we move up to the second energy center, which is called the Sacral chakra, the Svadistahna, the flowy parts, the reproductive organs, sexual organs, the connection with others, with feelings. It sits right there. It has the color orange, bright orange or deep orange. And then we move up to the third energy center, the belly center, called Manipura, the willpower that kind of pushes through with our intentions. Sometimes it gets stuck and it does never go and manifest. It just kind of stays there. So it's nice to move the energy here with breath, with twist, with nourishing foods, fluids, and keeping it nice and clear. So we feel empowered to move on with our missions, whatever is out there that's meant for us. And then we move up into Anahata, the heart center that governs lungs, heart, all the love, compassion, empathy. It governs our circulatory system. So it also is the gateway to the heart of earth for us and to the heart of source for us, and the upper three layers and the bottom three layers of the chakras. And then we move up to the throat chakra, the Vissuda chakra, where we have our sound, the voice, the layers of our speech that we always want to present out. So whatever we have to say, it's time to say it. There's no holding back. And it has the heart center has the color of bright green, and the throat center has the color of bright blue. It's one of my favorite colors. And I like all the colors, but bright blue is extra favorite. And then we move up from there with a nice clear breath. We move up to the third eye, and where we have our intuition, the connection with others, the ideas that are out there that we might pick up at the same time as somebody else that we might have stood next to, or we're thinking the same things. The full intuition center where we sometimes brush it away. So instead of brushing it away, we listen to it, and then we'll kind of let it descend into manifestation through the root chakra. And then we move up from there, and we have a crown chakra where we have connection to all that is above us, all the energies, heart of source, all the downloads. We welcome them, the ones that are appropriate for us. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I love the chakras, and my next intention is to bring it on to a more intermediate practice for chakras, and also, of course, our beloved yin practice for our chakras. For now, let's bring our palms together in front of the heart, and we'll do 3 rounds for the sounds of the chakras from the base up towards the top, and then we'll sit for a moment together. Take a nice big inhale. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. One more. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Hands in your lap, on your knees. Take a couple of nice cleansing breaths through all layers. You might sit here for a moment longer. You might lay down for Shavasana. If it feels too open or too much information coming or feelings, then take a blanket and pour it over you and kind of close the chakras into a appropriate level for us right now, right here, because it always switches. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste. I'll see you in the next video, and feel free to share this one with anyone that you feel could use it, and give me a thumbs up. Or I appreciate all the comments on all the different messenger apps out there. It's been amazing. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste, you all.